My fear was so great at one point that I could not have touched this picture. My body would have said that it was a deathly, dangerous thing to touch. Now that's not true. So how does that occur? How does fear grow? How does fear shrink? And then how do we start to have a different or more healthy relationship with it? Why do we have fear? Why in the world does our nervous system produce fear? What's the purpose? Purpose is what?
To protect ourselves.
It's to protect ourselves. That's exactly right. And so when the danger is over, the fear should go away.
Correct.
Right? And if the threat it won't really hurt us, then why do we produce fear with that? So I'll give you an example. We're going to talk a lot about me today and snakes, because I have a huge fear of snakes, particularly this kind of snake, rattlesnake, right? Now, my fear was so great at one point that I could not have touched this picture. My body would have said that it was a deathly, dangerous thing to touch. Now, that's not true. So how does that occur? And so that's what we want to talk about, is how does fear grow? How does fear shrink? And then how do we start to have a different or more healthy relationship with it? In order to help you understand a little bit of how fear grows, I'm going to tell you a story about how I got so afraid of rattlesnakes that I couldn't touch a picture of them, couldn't turn a page of a book that had a picture of it, so I couldn't get anywhere close to that. So as a little kid, my uncle raised snakes, and he loved to chase me around with snakes of all kinds. Deadly snakes, rattlesnakes, snakes that weren't poisonous, all kinds of snakes. And I would, of course, run away. And so that's the right thing to do when you're afraid of something that's dangerous, right? Is to run away, okay? But then I got to where I didn't even want to go down the hall where he kept his snakes. Even though they might have been, in cages, I didn't want to go down that hallway. So I'd stay away from that hallway, okay? And then I got to where I didn't even want to see pictures of snakes or touch them. So I started thinking that rattlesnakes were so dangerous that they would chase me down and bite me. That's how fearful I became of them, okay? So fear grows when we avoid it, when we avoid the thing that we're scared of. Our brain says,
oh, great, that's really fantastic. That really was scary. Don't touch that picture. You didn't touch it. Whew, thank goodness. That'll really hurt you.
So when you don't do the thing, then your brain says,
yep, you're right, that was really dangerous.
When I was in my 40s, I accidentally made myself afraid of my front yard. And it's a very interesting thing. How can you make yourself afraid of a front yard? And this is how. I had moved into this house, and one night I went to walk my dogs out the front door, down the front steps, by this bush right here. There used to be another bush. And apparently I walked right over a copperhead. I walked out, I walked the dogs, came back, and I saw her lay in between the bushes. All the hair stands up on me. I'm panicking, I can barely breathe. So I walk my dogs around and come back in. The next night I go to walk my dogs and my heart is pounding so hard because what if that snake is there? And I know how fear grows. I'm a therapist. I know how this works. So I did not allow myself to go through the back door. Instead, I opened the front door, and don't you know that doggone snake was in the same place? Exactly same place. I forced myself to walk down the steps, stay far away, walk somewhere else, walk the dogs, come back. The third night, my heart is beating so fast when I go to walk the dogs that I'm almost passing out, almost, right? And I My hand's shaking, I open the door, and that blasted snake is in the same place. But this time, I just don't have the fortitude I need to walk down the steps and walk the dogs. Instead, what I did was I shut the door and I said,
It won't hurt to do it one time.
and I left and walked out the back door. Of course, I felt immediate relief, right? There's no snakes back here, I'm safe. Whew. I came back in. The next night, I couldn't even touch the knob on the front door. I was so terrified. I never opened it. I don't know if the snake was there or not. And I walked out the back door. Within the third night, I couldn't walk out my front door. I was terrified of walking out my front door and into my front yard. And it took about a month to get over it. That's how fear grows. It doesn't grow a little bit at a time, it grows exponentially. So if you're a little bit this much afraid and you avoid the thing that you're afraid of, then it's going to be that much, and then it's going to be that much, and then it's going to be that much. And it's going to keep going. We don't want to avoid things that we know won't hurt us. And so that's what we're talking about here. I'm not advocating that we become friends with poisonous snakes, though that is something I'm working on, actually. Because my fear was so great that it would overwhelm me, right? And so I created for myself a fear ladder, okay? And so you'll see we have this little rattlesnake fear ladder. And I created this for myself, all right? Because I wanted to eventually, as you can see at the top, it says, see rattlesnake without extreme fear. That was my goal, without extreme fear. Now, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we saw our first rattlesnake out here. And I'm proud to say that not only did I see the snake without extreme fear, I approached it with caution, curiosity, and was able to see it and not have any kind of panic response. So working this fear ladder really worked. So what is a fear ladder? A fear ladder is something that we can develop to create less fear in ourselves or in somebody we're helping or an animal. So for me, the thing that I had to start with was something that wasn't too terribly scary, and that was read educational material on rattlesnakes, with the caveat that there were no pictures. Because if there were pictures, I couldn't scroll or anything, right? Because I'd have to touch it, all right? So I read educational material until my body was completely calm. And then I knew, okay, I can read this material, I can learn about them. I started getting curious about them. Like, I didn't know that rattlesnakes give birth to babies. They don't lay eggs. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that they take care of their young for 14 to 21 days. So when I started learning these things, it started to pique my interest about them. I wasn't quite as afraid. And then I started watching educational videos because I didn't have to touch it, right? I didn't have to touch it. I could watch educational videos about them, learn about them, and then look at a picture of it, but not have to touch it, right? I could look at the picture and then touch the picture. And touching the picture was harder than you would think. I really was still afraid that it could bite me through the picture, through the paper, okay? And then I would watch videos of rattlesnakes themselves, not people talking about them, and then watch videos of people being safe, how to be safe around them, right? And then what to do if you get bit. Was my fear ladder. And eventually was able to, like I saw a snake, we saw a snake this morning, it's about 5 feet long. Ari called over and she said, hey, there's a snake over here, I don't know what kind it is. So I came up and I walked right up to it. I couldn't believe it. I walked right up to it, my heart wasn't beating fast, I didn't feel nervous. I said, oh yeah, That's a rat snake. He raised his head up and he looked at me. I would have probably passed out a few years ago had that happened. He looks at me and I'm like, hey dude, not scared because I know he's not dangerous and I'm not going to hurt him. And he just leaves. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about having a healthy relationship with fear, is learning how to manage your body and your expectations and your fear so that it helps you and doesn't hinder you or your life.
Hey, can you believe all of this knowledge that Rebecca's dropping on us? It's fantastic. If you're enjoying it, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click follow so you can get more videos just like this.
I created this little fear acronym. So I wanted people to think about fear a little differently. When we have fear, we're going to work with some fear here in a minute. When we have fear, the first thing we want to be able to do is to face it, which means to orient towards it. Okay? That's what that means. We want to look towards it. So like that snake, I want to look at it. Okay? And then the E in fear is explore. Learn about this thing, right? Be curious about it. That's what I did with the rattlesnakes, like learning about them. Make them, I was going to say more human, but that's not really the word I want, but not some kind of horrific serial killer I'd made them out in my mind to be, okay? And then the A in fear is to assess the likelihood of harm. Like me not wanting to touch a picture of a rattlesnake is really ridiculous because, wow, that cannot hurt you, okay? And every time I would avoid touching a picture of a rattlesnake, I increase that fear, right? So now every time I see a picture and I think, don't touch it, I have to now touch it. So that I don't grow the fear. I want to let my brain know, nope, that can't hurt me. All right. And then the R in fear is to respond. Act on the new information that you have. Okay. So, Rain, how do you feel about working on your fear of horses?
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, you think we could work on that a little bit?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Quick?
please.
I think it's important.
Yes.
You said the way fear grows is to avoid it.
When we avoid it, yeah.
Is there another way that fear grows? Because in your story, it sounds like the start of your fear growing was because you were being chased.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a rattlesnake.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's the right thing to do. So in that response, that is the right thing to do, is to run from a poisonous snake, right?
Yeah, but
And
if you're being chased,
and if I'm being chased,
that's
yes.
different.
Yes.
So wasn't the fear really created by an overwhelming
Yeah,
experience
that I couldn't get away from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Isn't that what
yes.
fears get created too?
they can get created that way. And when I think about that, yes, I couldn't get away from it because the potential for him to always chase me with the snake was there, even if the snake wasn't there, right? So I never really could. I hadn't really thought about it that way, but I never really could get away from that. This could occur, right? And then so it was an overwhelming experience all the time of this danger could be there. I could be faced with it, and I couldn't get away from it. Yeah. Yeah. So that fear to me, that's an appropriate response to fear.
To run away from it.
To run away from it, right? But then when it gets stuck is, I didn't get all the way, I never could get away from it all the way, right? So like if I had seen a snake, let's say out in the yard, a rattlesnake, and then I ran away from it, then it would have been complete.
Yeah. But when you were a kid, you could never get away from it.
Nope.
You were a kid and powerless.
Yep.
But
And
when you became an adult, you got stuck in it.
I was already stuck in it. I was already so stuck in that fear. You're right. Because every time I saw snake, even nice snakes, like garden snake stuff, I would just panic. And so the more I avoided it, the more fearful I became. Until it was so outrageous, the fear was so outrageous that it didn't make any sense. We're going to work on build a fear ladder for your fear of horses. And if you picture a horse in your mind's eye, how much fear would you say that you feel?
Just picturing it.
Yeah, and you can picture any kind of horse and as
they're
big as you
beautiful,
want.
but they're big and they're strong.
Yeah.
I would still say 6 to 7.
6 to 7. So in the middle of this ladder, basically. Okay. So now let me. I would still want you to try to picture the horse, but I want you to picture the horse from very far away. So like you see a horse way out in the distance.
Oh, those guys.
Way out. How fearful do you feel there?
Maybe 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's take that same distance and I'm going to make it a baby. I'm going to make it a foal. Maybe he's a week old and you can see him way further than those horses. Those horses right there are pretty close. Put him way out by that big tree out there.
Tall.
A 2.
Clumsy.
2.
A 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what if the foal, he's sleeping on the grass. He's just sound asleep. Now, is it, I'm trying to get us to a 1.
I would say a 1.
A
Yeah,
1. Okay,
definitely a 1.
so on our ladder, a sleeping foal far away, like I put him way in that tree way over there,
A
like
0.
acres away.
No, I can't say 0 because I think I would still be anxious.
Yeah,
There's a little anxiety.
yeah.
So a
Okay.
1.
Okay, okay.
A 1.
Even if there's a bunch of fences between you and the horses,
I'd still say a 1.
still a 1.
At least a 1.
Okay, all right. So that tells us, though, that's the first rung on the ladder. We don't need a 0. We just need, okay, baby foal, sleeping, lots of fences between us, okay? And when you see that baby, you said you feel a little bit of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you feel that in your body? Hey, Ari, can I have the pen?
In my chest and in my stomach.
Chest and stomach. Chest and stomach, okay. So let's write this down. So baby foal, a foal, far away, asleep. All right, so what would it take to help you feel less in your body, do you think?
Well, I think I would need to breathe first, but then I think that I think it would make me feel less if I saw someone else see another person perhaps next to the baby.
Okay, so can you, in your mind's eye, see someone maybe sitting on the ground and maybe petting the baby while it's asleep, and the person's body's very calm and the baby's very calm, and what do you feel in your body then when you see that?
I feel more calm.
Okay.
A little, maybe not as much anxiety in the chest area, but maybe a little in the stomach, but not.
Okay.
Not a lot.
And what's the worry that comes up when you have that anxiety? If your tummy could talk, what would it say? It would say what?
It would just say, like, it feels like it has a tight ball in it.
Yeah. So it feels tight. So it's expecting the foal to do what?
Get up very quickly
Okay.
and just do something unexpected, like run towards me.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're talking about here is the fear of the unpredictability of it.
Yeah.
So if you knew what was going to happen next, then that would help your body feel safer.
Right. If I knew that the fowl would get up very slowly
Uh-huh.
and not try to approach me, I think that would help. But I don't know that, and I just imagine it getting up very quickly
Yeah.
and not knowing what it's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so, and the worry is if it approached you, what's the worry that it would do once it came close?
Kick me.
Kick you. Okay, I'm going to write some of the fears over here. Kick. What else?
Jump on me. Bite me. Maybe this sounds kind of silly, but maybe like there's spit and stuff all over me. I don't like all that slimy spit.
Yeah, no spit, man. Yeah, okay, got it. All right. So, what I hear here, except for the spit, is that this being can hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're afraid of, is being hurt,
Right.
right? And at the core, my rattlesnake fear is the same thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Now, I had to learn this about snakes, so I'm going to ask you about this about horses. Why do horses kick or bite? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have any ideas about why they might?
Perhaps they feel other people's energy and it makes them anxious
Okay.
or upset,
Okay.
so they kick.
Okay.
Maybe they jump because they're anxious again, and then they bite because they're also afraid.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever heard the term that horses are flight animals?
Yes.
What does that mean?
When I think about fight, flight, freeze.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about them, and I think that's probably why I'm scared of them. I feel like they get spooked really easily,
Okay.
and when they get spooked, that's when they're unpredictable, and you don't know what they're going to do. And I think that's what freaks me out or scares me the most.
Got it.
Is that because in their flight, because out of fear, is unpredictability.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So they do want to run away from things that scare them. That's what they would prefer to do. They will kick and they will bite or strike when they're cornered and they feel like they can't run away.
Striking is the jumping up
Yeah,
on me.
got
the
it. I
striking.
figured that's what that was, right. And so they will do that when they can't get away. Right. Let's say I had a horse in that corner over there and he felt like he couldn't get away from me and he was really, really afraid of me. Then at that moment, he might bite or he might strike or he might try to kick me or run over me because he's trying to get away from me. He's trying to get away from the threat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so if we're not threatening them, is there any reason for them to come running up to us and bite us?
Based on the information you told me, no. But they were following us.
Yeah, do you know why?
No. And I was like,
I
it
know.
got really close to me, and I could feel myself.
Yeah, you walked through it though, right? So Risha was hanging back and asking. You didn't turn around, so you didn't see. But she was asking them to wait. And if you'd have turned around, you'd have seen that they were all waiting except for Old Man Cloud, who was like, "Oh, you're opening that gate. I want to go through it. I'm not. I was way ahead of Risha, right? But everybody else was listening. Now, the reason they were following you is because they know you've never been here before, and they want to meet you. That's why they were following you. Okay? If someone else had been with me, they would have been still eating grass.
Someone they knew.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, hey, I know that person. I don't need to go and introduce myself," right? So, are you the kind of person that goes and introduce yourself when you see somebody new coming up?
Yes.
You are. So you're like these hoodlums over here. They were like, "Oh, you're new. I want to say hi to you." So you can turn around. Cash is the one's got his body long ways on the gate. And Juno, they're both waiting. They still want to meet you. Cash has got an eye on you. Juno's looking at you, but she's just sort of resting and she's kind of waiting. Cash is a little bit more alert. His ears are a little bit more alert, right? He probably heard me say his name, right? So they want to meet you. Not because they want to hurt you, but because they're interested in knowing who you are. So when Lemmy came up and said hi to you, how did you feel? Worried?
A little.
Yeah?
It's a new dog I've never met. He's
A new
big.
dog. Yeah, right. He is big, right? So what did it take to get friends? I mean, he clearly likes you. He's laying right here by you.
I stuck my hand out.
Yeah.
He sniffed me.
Yeah.
He didn't growl or
No.
jump on me. And
Right.
then I about 2 minutes later, I was like, okay, this dog is safe.
Yeah, yeah. So what I hear is that you had a little bit of apprehension because you didn't know him, and he approached you, and you used all the things you knew to be safe with unknown dogs, and then within a few minutes, your fear or apprehension is probably a better word, went away. Because if you were really afraid of him, you probably wouldn't have gotten out of your car and walked up.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So that's what we're going to try to work on with the horses, is how do we help you know that there are safety things you can do to keep yourself safe if you needed to, just like with dogs, and that horses don't just out of the blue attack people. Okay? Unless, you know, it's a horse that's been really hurt by people, and then, you know, I wouldn't say go say hi to that horse anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But in horses in general, right? Okay. It's like rattlesnakes in general want to leave you alone. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They're very shy animals. They just want to live their life, right? My thought was, oh, he just wants to come over here and bite me. Okay?
Right.
Not a very helpful way to looking at it, and it wasn't true. It was also not true. Okay? All right, so now that you know this is not the fact, how does that affect the full sleeping far away?
That one's still a 1 because I think that there would be some.
Yeah.
Regardless.
A little bit of, and there's no, oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, he's so cute, but like, I don't want to startle him.
Yeah.
I don't want him getting up, you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then what would be the next step on this ladder? What would be the next thing? In the middle is seeing a picture of a horse in the mind's eye.
I think, and it was helpful for you to educate me here because the education brought down the fear. Like I didn't know this about horses until you just told me that.
Okay.
So definitely lower for, you know, seeing someone else approach them.
Okay.
Maybe I could approach the baby.
Yeah.
Pet it.
Okay.
Have it stand up next to me.
Okay.
And not be so fearful of what it's going to do based on.
So now if you think about that, do you feel really afraid when you think about that?
No.
No. All right. So if you look over there at those two, just kind of resting. Cash is looking at you. He's like, yeah, look at me. I'm so cute. How do you feel about seeing them they're a little closer than the other ones. Yeah.
A 3?
A 3, okay. All right. And tell me what kind of things are creating the 3. Is Juno picking up her foot?
Yeah, they kind of stomped a little bit.
Yeah.
They look like they're just like, they're super calm, and they look like one wrong move toward them would throw them into fear.
Okay.
Which would throw me into fear.
I got you. So what is a possible reason that Juno picked up her leg and put it down? What do horses have to deal with all day long when they're outside? Flies. So is it possible that there was a fly on her leg and she was just saying, hey, get off me, and putting it back down?
Yeah. Rather than like, I'm ready to charge after you.
Right.
Because that's what I'm thinking.
So you're thinking she's charging after you. Okay.
Like, I'm ready to run.
Yeah. Does her body look like she's ready to run?
No.
Do you see a lot of energy that says she's getting ready to run?
No.
Okay. So one of the things you said was, though, what if they get scared? So maybe that's something for us to look at, is what happens when a horse gets alert? Would you like to see what happens?
Yes.
You sit here.
Okay.
Okay? All right. How do you feel? Is he super scared?
No, he doesn't look super scared, but he does look alert.
Yeah. So alert as in, oh my God, I'm going to run away as fast as I can?
Not yet.
So they've never seen these. So I just want you to see what happens. See if you can make a big one, Ari. Supposedly it makes big ones, but we'll see. So let's see what happens. Juno's ears came up a little bit. And Bubbles are very unpredictable.
Yes.
Right? And she's like, oh, What are those? Look at that. Now, Ari's going to go closer and look. I just want you to watch from here. This is what happens. This is what they're doing. And look at Kai over there. He says, oh, what are those?
Oh, we're leaving.
So Cash says,
I'm out of here.
I need to see from a different angle over here. I'm going to put Juno closer to them so she'll get eaten first if that occurs. Now, look at that. How are they handling that? Are they acting in an unpredictable way?
They're curious. They seem to be curious, but they seem to kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things we do a lot of work on with our horses is learning how to face their fears. Just like that handout I gave you. Orient to the fear, explore it, assess the likelihood of harm, and act on that new information. That's what we teach them. Now look, Kai and Old Man Cloud are coming over to look at the bubbles. And Kai's like, I have to walk by them. So they're walking. Cash says, I'm going to turn my butt to it just in case it's scary. It's a little scary. Juno's going to walk away over here. So they're managing their own arousal as they walk away and then they approach. And they walk away and they approach. So they're not as unpredictable beings as you were kind of anticipating, are they? No. Okay. Now look, Kai said, oh wait, I'm noticing something here. I can come over and take a look at these with you, sister. That's his younger sister. And even Cloud, who's scared of everything, is coming over and looking at the bubbles.
Yeah, so I thought when we did this that they were going to run off.
Yeah, right. That they were going to be really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Chaotic, yeah. But they're not, are they? And they've never seen those little flappy signs that I made because I didn't want them to see them beforehand, right? They're just very curious. And do you see how they're getting closer?
See?
Yeah, she got a little bit of worried,
A little bit scared.
but look what she did with it. What did she do?
She stopped. And
She stopped, she looked. Yep. Same thing we're asking you to do is to stop, look, and think about it. Yeah, those things are unpredictable. But are they hurting you? Yeah. Yeah.
They're so pretty though too. That's the thing. They're so beautiful and
Okay.
majestic.
Yeah. All right. So, Ari, stop the bubbles for a second. Stop the bubbles. We'll let the last of the bubbles go away. Now that you saw that they're not horribly unpredictable, how do you feel about seeing them standing there?
I feel pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Not as fearful because just on the little time that we've spent,
yeah.
they weren't as spookish as I assumed they would be,
Right. Right. Okay.
or skittish, if you will.
Okay. All right. Whoop.
But yeah, I feel pretty safe sitting here watching them from here.
Okay. And then the horses who are way out there, You feel safe watching them?
Definitely, yeah.
Very, very safe. Where when we started, you weren't.
Right.
Right? Okay. All right. So, how do you feel about saying hi to one of them?
I think I can do that with the fence closed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, would you want to say hi with 2 horses standing there, or would you like for us to ask one horse to move away?
Probably just one horse.
Just one horse. Okay. Well, let's do that. I'll let Ari do that. Oh. And you and I'll walk over together. It is Juno. And she is going to, insist it be her. And probably Cash is probably less intimidating.
Yeah.
Just because he's smaller. So.
I'm at a farm all the time, so
That's lovely.
it's hard.
All right, so she's gonna walk out, and she's gonna ask the buckskin, the lighter tan one with the black mane, to move away so that the little red horse can stay there. And then when she's done that, then we'll walk up and ask the little red horse if we can say hi to him. That's Cash. Okay.
Which one's the one that was following us?
They all 3 were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all want to meet you.
The one that was like right here.
Juno.
Oh, okay, Juno. Okay.
She's the youngest. She's also appointed herself the official Pecan Creek greeter. She believes that's her job, is to say hello to everyone who's new. Yeah. There you go. Now you can come on this side, and I'll stand between you and Juno, and Cloud, and Kai. This is Cash. I know, you think it's your job to say hi to everyone new. I know. Hello, sweetheart. Yeah. There you go. So this is Cash. He's full grown. He's turned 21 and golly.
And in
This-
real, those are real years, not like horse years.
No, they're real
Okay.
years. He's
'Cause I don't
he's
know.
21 in human years.
Juno.
So you're going to see Juno wants to not respond to what Ari's asking her. She does. She wants to stay. And she can maybe come back here in just a minute. Cash says, here, I'll come listen to you. I'll listen. So he's a lot smaller. That's why I was choosing him. Rooster, you want to come back over here?
Is that why he has the dollar signs on him?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the way he was when the man who bred him. This is Cloud.
Hi. He's a big boy.
He is a big boy. He's 26.
Oh, wow. How long do
human
they
years.
typically live?
25 to 35 typically,
Really?
but some live into their 40s. Yeah. So how does it feel to have them just standing here like this?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cloud says, well, if that's okay, maybe you might pet me then. Oh, Kai's going to say, well, maybe you might pet me then.
Uh-oh.
So that's all he's just like, can I come in there?
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Hi, Cloud.
Can I sit?
So, yeah, he's saying, hey, you feel a little scared? I'll boss him for you.
See, and their eyes are like just really big. And
Yeah, their eyes are huge, aren't they? So what's interesting about horses is that they have different lenses in their eyes. So just like you did with the dog, let him smell you.
Oh.
He flies. And so you might want to touch him over here. Come over here with me and touch him on his neck. Because face touches are sort of like hugs. And you don't know him, so you might not want to give him a hug, right? He might not want a hug.
Hey, buddy.
He says hi. He's just moving around. He's asking Kai to give him a little space. You see how his eyes are very, very droopy?
Yeah.
He's enjoying that. See?
Aww.
And Kai is just like, oh, you could pet me too. I'm very good looking, he says. So just let him smell you, but like your hand like this. Yeah. And you can ask him about his cheek. You might want to ask him about his cheek, yeah. Yeah, there you go. See, he likes that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah. So part of being safe with horses is also just learning how to read body language, and the body language isn't too dissimilar from humans. Lots of facial expressions and tense muscles or loose muscles, right? So right now Cloud's got an itch on his leg. That's all. He's just itching his leg. And Kai's asking me, silently of course, will you please open this gate? I've been in here all morning. Why have I been in here all morning? I don't really understand that, he says.
And what's
So
he doing?
he's letting the tension out of his face.
Oh.
So he's moving his jaw around to let the tension and the worry that he feels, because they pick up on our worry. So notice that your worry isn't creating fear in him, but he says, why are you worried about it? He doesn't know it's him. He's like, well, maybe I need to be aware of something. Maybe there's something over here. You've got an itchy ear, don't you? Do you got an itchy ear? Yeah, he got an itchy eye too, huh? Yeah, he's got an itchy eye. So he wants me to scratch his eyes. He's got allergies. He's got allergies. So see,
They're just so pretty.
he just wants to be loved on.
Yeah.
So Cash, he left because
Are they pretty, like, affectionate?
they're very, you see how he's wanting to
Yeah.
love on me? Yeah. Yeah.
And they like to be, like, with each other, right?
Yes, they're herd animals. They want to be together. They want to be with their family. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you when we went on that horse ride at
Mhm.
South Fork, and they
Yeah.
just seemed spooked, and if one of them would get too far behind the other, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
So
was kind of freaked out the whole
it's
time.
sort of like how you treat them too, right? And so what we ask of our horses, we listen to them, we ask for consent. They have lots of choices. We're not making them do things that they find frightening, right?
Mm-hmm.
We connect with them, and you can see that they're, like, Ari's having a conversation with Juno and Cash over there. All right.
Yeah, he definitely
There,
has
he's got he's using his teeth. If I went in there, let me show you. If I go in here, he'll ask me to scratch him. Okay, so here, let me go in here. Say, hey Cloud, can I help you? Can I help you with this itch? Can I help you? I can. Where is it?
They all start coming.
Yeah. Where's it? Where's this itch? Where is it? Is it here? Where is it? Right here? Is it right here? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Is it
Yeah,
right
see,
here?
there's no way. What, like how you are? There's no. Yeah. No.
Well, no, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
You're not there in your trust.
Just notice where your chair's going, just watching somebody else do it, right?
Yeah.
What is he saying right now? Does he like
That
it?
feels good.
Yes, he is. And everybody else is like, I want one of those.
I want to scratch.
I do. I want to scratch.
Whoa.
Hey, you get to share. You get to share. You want to say hi to Rain so badly, don't you? Don't you? I know you do. I know you do. She also wants a belly rub and a butt rub.
Oh, yeah, there's.
Yeah. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, buddy. All right. So, how does it feel to see when they want something? They weren't ugly about it,
right. Right.
right?
They
Hi,
approached you, but they didn't do anything that seemed threatening.
Right. No. Even Juno, who wants me to scratch her butt some more, is not being threatening. Right? She's just putting it
They're
where I
just
can
waiting.
scratch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like
Please scratch me.
my dog does. When he
Yeah,
wants
right.
his-
Yeah, right. Oh, hi, buddy. You want some scratches? Do ya? Oh, you want some belly scratches.
Well, this was helpful. Yeah, I can see because I know a little bit more about them. I saw you with them. And
So,
they
are
seem
you
pretty-
are you feeling really scared right now?
No, I'm anxious. I can tell I'm a little anxious still. Like I still feel like in my stomach, maybe a little bit here, just a little anxious, but definitely not as anxious as I was when we were walking out here and the one was falling.
Yeah, right, Juno, who wants to say hi to you.
So,
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there for more information for you. Because one thing you mentioned is that, you know, when people are anxious, you know, like of course that horse had the reaction it did because I was anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to pay attention to how these horses have handled anxiety around them.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily true that if we feel afraid or anxious or whatever, that it's going to make the horses feel that way.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're able to manage their own emotions
Yep.
and make a choice about how they respond to someone else's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Hi, buddy. Hi. You wanting some scratches? So, did you see Cash kind of biting at Juno?
Yes.
All right. What was that? Do you know what that was?
Jealousy?
Well, he was asking her. So they don't have words, right?
Yeah.
So he was saying with his mouth, "Move over.
Oh.
Stop doing that," because he doesn't have words to use, and
Okay,
so
I
only.
thought since-
So see how he's using his ears and his eyes. Stop that. Move.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's like, "But I don't want to move. I want to meet Rain." And he's like, "Ah, stop it," like that. She says, "Yeah, that's what I wanted all along. I wanted to say hi to you. Oh, hello. Oh, hello." She says, "Not on my face, but you can touch me right here."
Okay.
Yep. There you go. So see how she even communicated to you. Yeah, I would like to meet you. I would like you to touch me. But right here is the best place. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
See, and I think like, you know, if they move, I find myself like,
Yeah, well, I think that's good to listen to your body
there's-
because you're learning what their movements mean, right? And you're kind of learning that it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. I could just be repositioning myself. I could be scratching an itch. I could be talking to my friend over here, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to try to hurt you or anyone else.
Wow, how amazing was that to watch somebody overcome their fear and start working on that fear ladder in real time. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked that video and you want to see more content like this, please go ahead and follow us, subscribe to our channel, and if you're in the Central Texas area and you or someone you know could use some help with some of the fears and anxieties in their life, and you would like to work with us here at Pecan Creek Ranch, with us and our wonderful horses on this beautiful property, then please come see us. And Athena says, y'all take care of each other.